Is Dechala worth the hype in Tides of Torment? Well, from what I've heard, there was a lot of hype. Looking at you, grudges, and that's fine. Let's see what we get for all the trouble. Recruited for DLC money. You're charged 400 gold per turn in-game. On Ultra Scale, this single entity Monster Lord comes in at 6,808 health, no mount ever. Armor is 15, with a shield effect that blocks 40% missile fire from a frontal arc, 20% physical resistance, no missile resistance. So she's an example of a character who works that way. Leadership 85 is very high. Speed 75 is high enough. Charge speed 130 is absolutely broken. Melee attack 69, no comment. Carries magical attack with each blow. Attack interval is 2 seconds, as in half the normal 4, faster than anything I can recall in the game ever. Melee splash target size is medium, so questing knights on down, and max targets damaged by splash, as opposed to merely tossed about, is 6. Melee defense begins at 60, so this is a ferocious duelist on both ends of the spectrum. Weapon strength 550 is split base 220, and armor piercing 330. A generous enough split not to cause worry, with a bonus versus infantry of 30. Top tier. And while the Druki Anointed has identical, she doesn't hit 6 targets max. Charge bonus is 45 and mass is 1200. Counting as a siege attacker, she has immunity to psychology, of course, Strider, so no penalty fighting in forest and moving through it. She can hide in forest, causes fear and terror, and has devastating flanker, so double charge bonus from the flank or sides, so she can take advantage of invul situations. Dechal's default dances would be Destruction for minus 24 melee defense and plus 25% weapon strength, and Praise of Slaanesh for minus 36 melee attack, plus 36 melee defense, and plus 20% missile block chance. As a faction leader, the Denied One, she enables her unique faction mechanics, grants experience gain plus 100% for all characters, gives physical resistance plus 10% to devoted marauders, marauder horsemen, and hellstrider units, and upkeep minus 10% for devoted marauders, this one for all armies. As a general, Dechala can equip a second weapon. So, sort of Kanan something else? Gotcha. She steals 10% of experience from fellow lords in her faction, chance of being offered a magic item as tribute, as is her due, plus 50% post-battle, and items are awesome after 6.3, and plus 10% for weapon strength of all non-demonic units in her army. The blue line skills genuinely have nothing worth remarking on as special. Draftmaster as the middle pip, very useful, just no point dwelling. The red line has Glamour of Slaanesh for minus 5 melee attack to enemies in a 35 meter radius as the midpoint. The capstone increases this to minus 8. Simple, but quietly nasty. Apparently, for free, we get Hate's Corn and Elven Grudge, former for plus 10 melee attack and plus 15% weapon strength when fighting Corn factions, and missile resistance plus 10% and melee attack plus 14 when fighting Elves. At rank 7, Supple and Spry can add 10% more missile resistance. This explains it. Otherworldly Reflexes at rank 14 is 1 pip to make missile resistance 360 degree block. Very nice. At rank 16, Devoted Monstrosities for 1 pip grants Champion of Slaanesh units weapon strength plus 15%, melee attack plus 6, and fatigue build-up minus 33%. So that one helps them a lot. For her main combat line, Rapid Ruination starts things off with plus 12% to speed. 2 pips of Devastating Charge gives plus 30 flat charge bonus, Thick Skin plus 15 armor at 2, Hard to Hit plus 12 melee defense at 2, Deadly Blade plus 12 melee attack at 2, Foe Seeker, the standard plus 25% speed and charge speed, which is extra relevant here, and Fatigue Reduction for Dechala when active. Wound Maker plus 20% weapon strength at 2, Scarred Veteran plus 15% health at 2, Indomitable plus 12 leadership at 2, which gets stupidly high, Blade Shield plus 12 more melee defense at 2, and the old venerable awesome Capstone Deadly Onslaught plus 25% weapon strength and plus 60% charge bonus while active, which dovetails into your Devastating Flanker trait. I pushed hard through that because, except for the first pip, it's exactly like for the Druchii Anointed. For her personal line, the Praise of Slaanesh at rank 12 gives campaign movement range plus 10%, Wayfarer for herself for cracked acceleration, deceleration, and turn speed, and plus 3 Slaanesh Corruption local province. The Tainted Cup enables Eroding Poison for her, which inflicts poison's usual effects, along with -6 leadership and a damage over time effect similar to Skarsnik's Death Juice. Eroding Poison for devoted Marauders, Marauder Horsemen, Hell Striders, and Chosen when in her own army. But back to Dechala herself, she will get armor-piercing damage plus 60 per blow, which the enemy will feel each and every time she connects. Dagger Dance gives melee defense plus 6 to Dechala, Unyielding Assault to Dechala, which means melee attack can never be diminished. I haven't always read this right. And the Dance of the same name nerfs her damage by 25%, shaves -15% from her bonus versus infantry, but gives her armor plus 40 and 25% ward save. The Wages of Sin takes Devoted Marauders, Marauder Horsemen, Hell Striders, and Chosen, and all it does is gives them melee attack plus 6, melee defense plus 6, and immunity to contact effects forever. Poison? Don't care. Blinded? Don't care. Whirlwind of Pleasure gives her -33% to fatigue buildup, charge bonus plus 25 flat, and enables the namesake ability, 120-second cooldown, 5 seconds duration, radius 6 meters only, no friendly fire, 108 damage, 100% of which is armor piercing. This is an I delete you ability for enemy elite units, full stop. The Capstone, Mistress of Suffering, enables plus 100% casualties captured post-battle, enemy leadership -4 local region, -10% upkeep for all non-demonic units, and grants all non-demonic units that are rank 7 or above Rage. You know, like Norskins get. So that applies to her own army, and 100 seconds of melee contact will build up to plus 8 leadership, plus 5 melee attack, and plus 10% physical resistance. Available at rank 13 via quest battle, Elixir of Damnation offers control plus 4, captured casualties plus 25% post-battle, enemy hero success chance -25%, Slaanesh corruption plus 5, leadership effect plus 8, leadership aura size plus 50% to get more use from that, and the namesake ability, 3 uses. 120 seconds cooldown, duration 19 seconds, inflicts the namesake contact effect. So we've used the same name 3 times already, okay. Supposedly for 10 seconds, it reduces melee attack to 0, removes causes fear, removes causes terror, and removes immunity to psychology. Damn nation. That sounds strong. So, how do we use Dechala the Denied One? Speaking only of the battlefield uses, all the other stuff is just noise. You don't even need stances. You can just put her base stats into battle with magical attack and attack interval 2 seconds and burn the world down. In pitched combat, she'll do not just fine, it's scary, terrifying. Although, she gets around a lot, so she's not necessarily going to just sit there and duel. But that's fine, that suits her. In getting into combat, she's like a glorified version of my old advice on Gore Her. More missile resist, yes. More speed, yes. But not more armor. You need to get her into combat, or she's useless and gathering dust. Most of her campaign hotness will be her campaign mechanics, and that's going to take at least a whole separate video. What we see in the meantime is that she does crazy stuff with a considerable number of the mortal troops, though what you do not see her buffing is Chaos Warriors of Slaanesh per se. At least, I didn't see it here. But in terms of what I do see, as a faction leader and a general, she's like a cross between Skarsnik, the character XP, Lord XP stealing, and Wulfric with his Marauder upkeep discounts and his bonuses to them in battle. You also don't see her use any kind of magic, so that's completely out. If she wants to make devotees work, because at the very end she does more general non-demonic unit buffs, get a Druchii Anointed. Take care, and have fun figuring out what 2 weapons you want to fill those slots with, even if one of them is not the Sword of Cain. Although it should be.